Welcome to a Chart Nerd technical analysis video. Today we will be discussing the likes of VELO against the USDT on its daily and weekly time frame. Now before I start, this video is not financial advice and is all for educational and entertainment purposes only. However, I hope you do enjoy the content. Now analyzing VELO here on the daily time frame, we're going to look at straight away. And I know I cover it a lot in many of my videos, but we need to focus on this prior 7-month triangle and just sort of remind ourselves of where we've come from here. So you can see that we had the triangle resistance formation from our May 2024 high. We then came back to 0.007 in July, formed a double bottom on this trend line to create this ascending support, then ran into resistance once more at 0.019 high. Now this resistance level here is very important. We'll get back to this in a second. But from this point, we then came back and created our last level of support on this ascending trend line here in November of 2024 before getting this massive impulsive breakout here over the last sort of couple of months, which led us to take out this prior May high. So what we've got is bullish structure. We had a previous high that we needed to clear. We had a 7-month consolidation pattern from a previous uptrend throughout 2023. So you can see on this low in August, you came up and VELO just continuously rid the wave here and put in a new local high prior to its February 2023 high. So again, we've got this high, you've got these lows, you've got a higher high, you've got these higher lows, and right now with this high that we put in recently in December, we've got higher highs. So we're in very macro bullish structure. And I think that the fact that we've come up from a bullish trend into this consolidation pattern for 7 months was only the sign, gave us the sign that we were potentially looking for this breakout here. Now, I'm very, very grateful for the fact that it has come into fruition here for VELO, and we have seen this new local high at 0.035. But what you'll notice is in this sort of square zone, we've run into a bit of a sell wall at 0.033 around these three little peaks that we've had over the space of, well, throughout December, we've just been really choppy and we've struggled to take out the 0.033 high. Now, from this local low in November, with this breakout, we do need to consider the fact that VELO has had, should I say, a 241% move if we go from that low and get the exact time in the space of 42 days. So just between about six weeks here, it's taken us to rally and take out this prior high that we was consolidating under for 7 months. So we've had quite an impulsive move, and it does look like potentially there's going to be a few factors that would have to give this away first, but potentially this could be a triple top pattern here on the daily after such an explosive move from the support level. And we've got these 3 peaks right here, and if we lose this support line, which currently sits at 0.022 and is our sort of midterm support level, if we lose that on this pullback, it would give more confirmation of a breakdown. Now, a triple top pattern is a bearish pattern, and it does indicate that what happens is you get 3 peaks, okay? And when you fail to tackle out of this sort of sell wall at these peaks, and if we lose our support, which right now is this 0.022, if we lose the support after these 3 peaks, it does mean that we would have a breakdown target. And how you measure that is by going from the candle closes on the 3 peaks resistance back to the support. You would drag the candle, drag the trend line back to where you lost support, and it would give you the target. So if we was to do something similar here for VELO on the daily, and this pattern does play out, we may have a technical target on our hands from the neckline of resistance to the support. If we lost 0.022 support, we would have a breakdown target bringing us back down potentially towards the previous resistance of the 7-month triangle. So why this is interesting to me is because once we've had this breakout of the previous resistance we was under for 7 months, we haven't seen a retest of support. And what I was previously looking for was this local high at 0.028 to hold. Now you can see that within the 3 peaks, we actually had price action many times above this range, but kept running into 0.033. And within doing so, this is how we've created this resistance and also created this level of support. So the fact that we failed to hold this today, in fact, 0.028, because we was up in the 30s earlier on today and yesterday, but because we failed to hold that and we're pushing back down, I think 0.022 would likely see a retest over the coming days. Now, another, getting back to that point actually, where we've broken out of these 3 points of resistance and this 7-month triangle, where we've actually had the breakout now. It wouldn't surprise me if this triple top does play out. We have our breakdown target back down to support on previous resistance of the triangle. And at this point, it's around 0.015, again, which I want you to keep a focus on, 0.015. If we do get that retest from the target, I think this is where leading into Q1 of 2025, things could get very fruitful for VELO when we start pushing on to higher targets. But right now it does look like potentially, because we've had the breakout, we've put in this impulsive move, we've got the triple top. If we lose 0.022 and start seeing closes below that on the daily time frame, the technical breakdown target would bring you down to 0.015 and the previous resistance that we've broken out from, just for a retest. And I think at that point it would lead to a much larger impulsive move. The sort of larger the spring pullback, the larger the break. So I think that's a potential play here. And there is also some sort of ties to that and to this breakdown target. Because if we get a Fibonacci on from the local 0.035 high, retracing back down to this level of support from November on the back down to this level of support that we had in November. Right now, you'll notice that the 0.382 is holding steady for now. This has been our support throughout December, but this would give the game away if we lost the 0.022. I keep saying, even on X, I keep saying 0.022 is the key support in the short term that we need to see VELO hold. If it loses that, then you've got the 0.50 at 0.019. Okay, now bear in mind, we have had a wick here, which was on the 20th of December, which could potentially have gave the game away to say that we've had the rally. If we lose support, we're going to fill that wick in and then potentially come down to this 0.50 for support. So that's a very interesting area for me right now. These three support levels in the short term, if we see VELO lose 0.022, you've got 0.50 at 0.019, which could act as also a level of support. But this isn't the breakdown target of the triple top. In fact, this 0.50 at 0.019, if we drag our Fibonacci extension over, the 0.019 actually sits, you will see that the 0.50 sits on these previous highs on this resistance, which is why I wanted us to keep an eye on this level of resistance previously. So this high right here is the 0.50, roughly the 0.50 support on the fib from this high retracing back to our low. This high is the 0.50 region. So we could see relief at that point and then start looking to get our neck out of the woods if we do break down and lose 0.022. And then below that, you've got 0.016, which does tie up very closely to the breakdown target of the triple top if we lose support. So getting the breakdown target again of the triple top, if we do break down and lose support at 0.022 and retest the resistance trend line for support, you can see it's between 0.016 and 0.015. So we've got key support targets moving forward. This is a play I wanted to point out here, but it's only valid, guys. Remember, it's only valid if we lose the 0.382 at 0.022 and see multiple closes below. So it's tricky, but at the moment it does look like we are sort of putting in this top pattern here from an impulsive move on support. We've taken out a key level of resistance and we've taken out a previous high. So this macro top is a fantastic sign. I think that if we do see some sort of corrective pullback over the next couple of weeks leading into January, it's just going to offer fruitful opportunity going into the rest of Q1 in 2025. Again, nothing that I say is financial advice. This is just what the charts are showing me. Alone, I can see here there is a sell wall. This does look like we've got a triple top pattern or some sort of head and shoulders. The breakdown target does sit at 0.015 on the previous resistance line that could act as support, but we do have key levels of support on the way down here where we could see some relief if we lose the 382. So right now, key things to take away. The 382 is key support since the start of December. 0.50 is the previous resistance point and previous high of September of 2024. And then the 0.618 sits very close to the previous resistance of the 7-month symmetrical triangle and the breakdown target of this triple top pattern if it comes into fruition. So we have 3 key levels of support here on the daily time frame for VELO. Now, I think overall, if we look at the weekly here, and I wanted to look at the chart in automatic for a second. In auto, sorry, yeah. And what I'm going to do is show us a key level of resistance that VELO needs to break here. It's just a bit of an easier insight into the macro resistance level, and you can see why. So if we go from our peak in February and drag this resistance line across, you'll see that we came up to this resistance in February of 2023. We ran up into it of May of 2024, and we've now come into it of December of 2024. So this is a very strong macro resistance line that VELO needs to break. And if we do zoom out to the monthly and get the 20 EMA on our chart here, which is this yellow line, you'll notice that for the first time since its downtrend in 2021, which is all the way up here, it's rallied into the 20 EMA for the first time. So VELO is approaching, or has hit, should I say, two very key levels of resistance, which is why I think we're seeing such a pushback this month from that rejection point. We've run into multi-year resistance on this trend line, and the first time we've run into the monthly 20 EMA. So there's no surprise that, again, throughout December, it's been a bit shaky, and we're trying our hardest to get through this barrier, this 0.033 to 35 range, but it's tricky, you know, until conditions are perfectly right within the market. I think we will float around here for a little while trying to break through it, but once we do, I believe it will be immense. So I think once VELO actually does clear 0.035, that's where the real fun begins. And notice that this month, if we go back into log, this month, I think it would be pretty bullish if VELO can close above its previous May 2024 highs. So if we can see closes above 0.018/19 towards the end of this month through December, I think it's a very bullish signal. And again, this short-term pullback could just only be us consolidating between previous resistance and resistance on the 20 EMA. So we're kind of caught between a rock and a hard place here on the monthly. But again, as I said, once this 20 EMA is cleared and 0.035 is cleared, I think we're potentially looking for the start of the big breakout here for VELO to higher highs. Even this little ascending triangle here that's been building up, we've broken out of, ran into a key level of resistance, pretty normal. Consolidate, look for continuation. If we do get the breakout, rough estimation target, you can see would bring us up towards 0.04. So I think we are still looking for a breakout here. We've just run into the monthly 20 EMA since the first time from our prior downtrend in the bear market. Ran into a key level of resistance on this ascending resistance point. Once it's cleared, the fun continues for VELO, in my opinion. I just think in the near short term, this triple top on the daily is something to worry about for now. But we only have that valid if we start closing below 0.022. That could also act as support here before continuation of the trend. So I hope you've enjoyed the content today, guys. Sorry it's taken me a while to break it all down. From Chart Nerd TA, take care. Peace out.